In the chaotic days after Israel entered the Promised Land, the tribes had no king, no central ruler, only judges whom God raised up for seasons of need. It was a time of instability and sin, when every man did what was right in his own eyes. Israel would turn from God, and enemies would rise to oppress them. Then God would send a deliverer, not always a warrior, not always a prophet, but someone chosen to act. One such deliverer was Ehud, the son of Gera, a man from the tribe of Benjamin. His story is brief in the book of Judges, but unforgettable in the shadows of ancient justice. He was left-handed, a rare trait in those days and one that would become his greatest weapon. For 18 long years, Israel had suffered under the harsh rule of Eglon, king of Moab. Eglon had crossed the Jordan with the help of the Ammonites and Amalekites and had seized control of the city of Jericho. He grew fat on the tribute of Israel, demanding gold, grain, and loyalty. The people cried out to God for relief, and God answered. He raised up Ehud, not with a trumpet blast, but with silence and strategy. The time had come to bring tribute to King Eglon once again. It was a procession of submission, where Israelite officials would carry offerings to Moab's corpulent king. Ehud was chosen to lead this tribute. No one suspected what he would do. Before the journey, he secretly forged a dagger, double-edged, a cubit in length, small enough to conceal, long enough to kill. Being left-handed, he bound it to his right thigh. The side guards rarely checked, as most men were right-handed and drew weapons from the left. With the dagger hidden and the tribute prepared, Ehud joined the envoy that traveled to Jericho. They entered the palace of Eglon, whose bulk was legendary. Scripture even calls him a very fat man. The tribute was offered. Ceremony was performed. Eglon sat pleased, unaware of the silent plan unfolding in his court. After the tribute was delivered, Ehud led his men out of the city, but at the stone images near Gilgal, he turned back alone. He returned to the palace and told the guards, "I have a secret message for the king." The words stirred curiosity and arrogance in Eglon. "A secret message for me?" He waved his attendants away. Ehud was brought into the private chambers, where Eglon sat in the cool upper room, away from the heat. The guards closed the doors behind him. Ehud approached the throne, his eyes locked on the king. "I have a message from God for you." The obese monarch leaned forward. Ehud reached with his left hand, drew the dagger from his right thigh, and drove it deep into Eglon's stomach, so deep that the hilt disappeared into the flesh and the fat closed over the blade. Ehud did not pull the dagger out. The wound burst, and filth spilled from the king's body. Eglon collapsed, dead and defiled. Ehud paused only for a moment, then locked the chamber doors from the inside and escaped through the porch. Outside, the palace guards waited, assuming the king was relieving himself in private. They waited and waited. The stench from within confirmed their assumption. Only when too much time had passed did they finally unlock the doors and find their king, lifeless and bloated, lying in a pool of his own waste. But by then Ehud was gone. He fled to Sarah and blew a trumpet in the hill country of Ephraim. The sound echoed through the mountains, and the Israelites rallied around him. "Follow me," he cried, "for the Lord has given your enemies, the Moabites, into your hands." The people, emboldened by the daring act of one man, seized the fords of the Jordan and cut off the Moabite retreat. That day they struck down 10,000 Moabite warriors, all strong, all brave. Not a single man escaped. And so, through the cunning and courage of a left-handed man from Benjamin, Israel was delivered. The land had peace for 80 years. Ehud faded from the scrolls after that, his mission complete. He did not reign as a king or build a temple. He simply acted when God called. His left hand became God's right hand of justice. His story challenges us to remember that deliverance doesn't always come through strength or spectacle, but often through strategy, obedience, and perfect timing. Ehud was not the hero Israel expected, but he was the one God sent.